Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today, we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 294, released April 1990. Our price, $1.75, which is indeed frosty. But before we do that, let me please, hold on, I have to do everything right. Otherwise, I'm going to mess it up. Let me say thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please consider hitting like, hitting subscribe, and leaving a comment at some point during this video. That's the best way that you can support this channel. And I'm trying to get this channel to grow. 518 subscribers. I want to keep that ball rolling. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Link is down below. What do you get? You get this. You get a cool stencil ready to mail. I think I only have one ready to mail, but then you get these, a 6 set of stickers. And with something else, I think, coming down the pike, those people who are supporting me right now on Patreon, Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead-Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. With that, let's get started. I'm going to do, boom, camera one on. I'm trying something a little bit new. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but normally right below my vision is a monitor that I could see, but I can see myself, and I feel like that's distracting. So I moved it over here, but then I don't really see anything over here. Hopefully I won't be too distracted. Well, I think I'll be less distracted. I don't know. Why am I rambling? This is Mad Magazine number 294. Do you want to flip along with me? Go to madcoversite.com because I use it as a resource as I'm going through this. We have Richard Williams on this cover. I got to say, one of the worst Mad Magazine covers. It's just kind of weird. Is this Maud? Is that who this is? We have this like old guy and then this lady, and it's hard to tell. She seems to be like closer to him, but she's on the other side of him. And then there's the hand busting out of the sausage. No, what am I trying to say? The snowman, but it's like all like bent weird. And then it's like snow, right? But then it's bright yellow all in the background. It's so bizarre. And then we have, in this issue, we shovel Doogie Howser, an empty nest. We shovel it. Is that a phrase? Is that a turn of phrase that I'm just only now finding out about? Maybe. I don't know. It must be. That's what I would say. Leave a comment down below if this is an old phrase that I'm just learning about. How is this? Oh, I should probably zoom out a little bit. Oop, out. Okay, if we look at the vital features. Oh, first off, how about this? Subscribe to MAD, and you receive these big books. These big books are awesome. And I think I don't know. I need to check on madcoversite.com and see how many of them there are, because I think I got a lot of them. I got this one. I got a Don Martin one. I think I have this one. I don't know. But this cover always amused me. Let's check out these vital features. The vital features. Let's see how I can do. I mean, let's be honest, though. This is sort of a tee-up, right? Mort Drucker, Al Jaffe. Oh, why can't I think of the name? Oh, this is embarrassing. It's it's the guy. It's the sweetheart from the South. He did all the sports things. You guys know. You know I know. He also did the monsters. Like, he drew the monsters. He's kind of like a round fellow. Jack Davis. That's Jack Davis. Rick Tolka. This is going to be the guy who's not Mort. Angelo Torres. That was so rude. The guy who's not Mort Drucker. Oh, this What could this be? I have no idea what that one is. Oh, holy smokes. All right, let's zoom out. We'll find out. So I won't get 6 for 6, but I'll get something, I guess. Why is my phone buzzing? Jeez Louise. There we go. Now it's muted. Now I won't be distracted any further. Look at it. It's Larry Howard. Larry Fine. Would have been a funnier joke if I said it right. I don't know. Okay, you know what I was thinking of? The span of 100 issues. So like issue 200 came out like 2 decades earlier. It was like in the, well, not 2 decades earlier, but the 70s, the 1970s is when issue 201 came out. This is in 1990. That's like a lot changed in the magazine. And one of the things that changed is like, I feel like in the 80s, you get a lot of stuff like this. Bergen, Crypt Keeper, kids, stinking kids. Nobody cares about kids, guys. But this one is actually amusing because when I was a kid, I never knew the Crypt Keeper beyond the television show. And I remember seeing him and just being kind of honestly creeped out by him and not wanting to interact with that, not wanting to stick around for the program because it was like this weird, if I remember correctly, like a puppet like thing. So I don't know. Let's see. Long before MAD was created, EC Publications put out a classic series of horror comics, including Tales from the Crypt, ghastly stories introduced by Crypt Keeper. Now HBO is presenting an award-winning series based on those same frightful stories. Recently, special effects whiz Kevin Yeager and the Crypt Keeper dropped by to check out MAD number 292. The Keeper suggested we change the title of MAD to Old Jokes from the Crypt. HBO, I don't even know when I would have seen this now that I think about it, but I remember seeing it. I have HBO Max. I wonder if it's on there. That'd be cool if it was. I want to know, though, is it like, you remember like Ray Bradbury TV? What was that called? The Ray Bradbury Story Hour? They like play it on MeTV sometimes. How much of it was his stuff, right? Like with Ray Bradbury, they would do the Velt and would tell the whole story, like mostly the story, adapted to television. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested in that now. I'll add it to my list of things to check out that I never actually check out. Like Max Brandel and Tales from the Crypt. Boom. I added it to the list. Anyway, Empty Mess. I don't know. Who's this guy? Is this Don Johnson or something? Who is that supposed to be? Empty Mess. Who did this? Mort Drucker. No surprise there, right? He's the opener. He's that go-to guy. He always gets the first one. That's it. That's all I'm giving it. The Double Dutch Death Trap. Have you been sentenced to death by drowning? Do you have anything to say? Yeah, it's death by drowning. How come you guys have rifles? We'll show you. Ready, aim, fire. Run for it. Here it comes. So he's on the dam or something. I don't know. I don't know. But here's what we really want to see, right? This is it. Artist Al Jaffe. One more point. Let's zoom in on this because this will be really fun to look at. These days, we are bombarded with information from TV, books, movies, parents, teachers, and even worthless humor magazines. Most times, the information is either stupid, useless, embarrassing, or too late to do you any good. To see what we mean, think back and consider all of the information you were given lately. Then sit back and ask yourself, do you really need to know? Do you really need to know that your dinner companion found a hair in his linguine? Honestly, you do need to know that. You do need to know that. especially if you made it. The plot line in a porno movie. Wait, you didn't come in with that guy? Um, this is funny because, like, all right, first off, I love all of their noses, all of the phallic noses of the people. Wait, this isn't what I point with. What the heck? I love all the phallic noses of the people in this. But it's also funny because anybody reading it now would be, or most young people, I think, would be confused at the idea of going to a movie theater in order to watch such a film. Most of the statistics that baseball announcers spew at you. Oh my God, that's right. It's amazing, the statistics that they come up with, because it's not even statistics, right? It's just like a description of something. It's not a record. Like, give me something worthwhile. Formula One does that, where it's like you'll watch a race and they'll be like, well, Alex Albon is the first Thai driver to race in this race in this time period under these circumstances since 1972's race. And it's like, oh, so he isn't the first. That's what that was. That was a convoluted way of saying he's not the first. Anyway, I don't know why I'm bitching about that. I guess it just struck a chord. I've just been waiting to unload my disapproval at announcers, and I was finally given the opportunity. Do you really need to know the weatherman's 5-day forecast when he usually can't get it right for just one day? Well, at this point, it's hard to laugh at that because it's such an old saw. Do you really need to know anything about your Uncle Bepe's goiter operation? Oh, that thing was the size of a cassava melon. I do love this. And then he's holding the half of the melon up there and you can see the stitches. That's lovely. Do you really need to know that your subscription to Time magazine runs out in just 113 more issues? And do you really need to know how much better a student your older sister was than you? Oh, that's true. As the baby of the family, that one really hits close to home. I bet if we called in your sister Henrietta, she could tell us the date Columbus set sail for Guam. What? 1492? All right. Oh, here we go. Oop, wrong way. Here is the MAD Career Mart. Great Scotch. Cash in on America's shortage of professionally trained Scotch tape replacers. Your future is revealed. There's big money in fortune cookies, and we mean big. Train at home. Here, a once-in-a-lifetime offer from the Fortune Cookie Writing Institute of America. You will soon take a long journey. A new friendship is on the horizon. You are just starting to develop your talents. I remember I was listening to NPR and they did some type of explanation of fortune cookies. And it was so funny because the lady was describing like how Americanized fortune cookies are. And the way it started, there was only a set number of fortunes. So you would invariably get a fortune more than once, but that could be a sign that it truly was your fortune. Speaking of Don Johnson, my God, I had a premonition. I never have premonitions about anything useful or anything that's beneficial to me. I just have premonitions about Don Johnson. The MAD TV Coroner's Report, Volume 2. Writer Frank Jacobs. It's not a poem, though. Damn it. All right, let's go with Miami Vice. Let's zoom in on this bad boy. Now, this does not count as photo caption, I will say. So if I laugh at this. Cause of death, Trendius deceptus. For several years, the subject remained alive, sustained only by artificial means. New wave rock soundtracks, macho chic fashions, and glitzy sets, but these were not enough to save the body, weakened by weakened by script decay, listless performances, and terminal plot rot. With the immune system failing, the subject languished and, mercifully, was allowed to die. Symptoms. Despite its once robust appearance, the subject lacked the strength to survive swollen heads and a bloated budget. Put on a costly life support system, it soon realized that it was only a matter of time before the network would pull the plug. Oh, this is just TV reviews. I like that. Dynasty. Ooh. Is this the one with Morgan Fairchild? Actually, I got in an argument with somebody at work. Buddy of mine, Mr. Worley, star of It's Alive 3, Island of the Alive. Well, he wasn't a star. He was in the opening scene. And that's pretty awesome. Oops. Sopus unendurabilis. It's kind of hard to like actually make the fake Latin names funny. Sopus unendurabilis. That one, it's okay. This is funny for saying elsewhere, malpractice. Subject hung on years past its life expectancy, despite suffering larceny, infidelity, assault, double dealing, kidnapping, divorce, rage, amnesia, and greed. Finally, after a decade of torment and having no absurd plot twist to live for, it died. Its dialogue in a coma and its storylines in a state of decay. Poor Dynasty. You know, people say, like, what was it, like in the late 2010s? Like 2010 onward, maybe? People were saying things like, we are in a golden age of television. I think the 80s was the real golden age of television. Because look at this. Who's the boss? Look at this. Family Ties. There was a lot of really good television in the 80s. And if you don't like it, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, to be honest. Here we have a lovely Spy versus Spy. This is a Clark one, right? Mm-hmm. Look at it right there. Human genius. Bob Clark doing the Spy versus Spy. I really am curious. I want to talk to Peter Cooper about that. Like, what was it like to take over Spy versus Spy? He wasn't taking it over from the man, right? He wasn't taking it over from Antonio Prejias. But it's still a very iconic Mad Magazine institution. It would be almost, I imagine, it would be like taking over, a Mad Look At. Maybe not as hard as taking over a Mad Look At, since somebody else had done it first, but still pretty hard. Here we have the lighter side of. Look, this is kind of. You can see how he colored it in with the markers. Like you can see all of those lines. It's not like when I say interesting, I mean it the way like most people in Minnesota say interesting. Whoa. I like this. Look at this one. What's going on? Look at this. Look at what's going on in this. Look at that. We have a foreground, a background. Sir, can you spare me a few bucks? Why don't you get a job like everyone else? This is my job. But look at this face. This is fantastic. I love that. 1990, Dave Berg. Did he have look at this. You've got a great collection, Hank. But aren't you worried with your preschool kids and their friends around? No, I've taken every precaution. See, I put up this big sign. I like this one. Damn, what's going on? What topsy-turvy world are we living in? I just had a genuine yuck at this. Relationships. You know what? I don't want to gild the lily. I'm not going to read another one. I appreciated this a lot, but I don't want to read one and have it blow up in my face, all right? So we're going to move on. Cannibal Coffee Shop Conundrum. Here, hit pause and read this if you want to. Whoa. Who is this? Jerry Gersten. Jerry Gersten did a lot of work for people, all like lots of publications, right? This is one of those styles where it's like, I recognize this. I don't think I would ever know the name. I wouldn't ever be able to peg it. Did he also do, I'm going to look this up. Where's Jerry Gersten on this? Yes. Okay, I see it now. So he did a couple, I think a lot of things, yeah, with Frank Jacobs. And he had done this other one, The Reagan, with apologies to Edgar Allan Poe. That was one that was from MAD 265. I did a video on this one. I remember it like really well. It was just, the illustration was super cool. It was like Reagan as a crow or a raven. And it was lovely. It was so much fun to read, and it was so much fun to look at that illustration. It was one of those moments where it was just like mad perfection. Yeah, I loved it. And I really love the use of lines on this. Like these clouds, I don't know, little stuff like this is very fascinating to me. Just those lines drawn out and then gone over again right here. All of the shading that's done like that with the horizontal lines. It's so good. And then this, like the hatching on this suit jacket, is just so fantastic. It's beautiful. And look at the patches, the threadbare pants that are just patched together and stitched together. And then look, you can go over here and you can see, here we have this fucked up vulture. Oh, man, and the silo that's teetering over. It's like spitting stuff out. It's like it's caught. We're catching it mid-fall. And there's a signature right there, very subtle, in the rows of sown seeds. And this. Oh, I love this right here. The way the picket fence here just disappears into the background. Oh, I love this. Man, all right. I'm not going to read this, guys. I think I just, I spent so much time admiring this art. Jerry Gersten. It's beautiful. Jerry Gersten. No, it would have been cool. I don't know. It probably wouldn't have fit Mad Magazine, but I really like Ralph Steadman, and I wonder what it would have been like to like pair him up with a comedy writer. I think it could have been potentially very fun. The Mad Don't book, chapters 2 through 5. When do we get chapter 1? Oh, that's because way back in Mad 254, we presented chapter 1 of the Mad Don't book. A feature created to explain the value of knowing what not to do in a given situation. We also promised to present additional chapters in future issues, although we desperately tried not to do so, but sadly recently passed Truth in Magazine legislation forces us to finally publish the Mad Don't book, chapters 2 through 5. Paul Coker doing the artwork. Chapter 2, what not to do on a first date. Don't bring your date secondhand flowers. A funeral arrangement. Don't try to earn the admiration of your date by exhibiting your pickpocketing skills. It's hard not to when you know something cool like that. Don't try to get on the good side of your date's father by showing off your extensive knowledge of pornographic films. Chapter 4, what not to do in a crowded elevator. Do not use the elevator to do research for your term paper, the study of hornets in a closed environment. Well, where else would you do it? Don't try to sway the... Chapter 5, what not to do in a courtroom. Don't try to sway the jury by filling the courtroom with a flock of parrots, all of whom have been trained to say, not guilty. Here we have Mad's rock quiz. Rick Tolka doing that. Writer, Desmond Devlin. Let's zoom in. Let's check this out. These are fun. There was something else that he had done with Desmond Devlin that is it's just so much fun to look at because filled with they're filled with all of these caricatures, and it's kind of fun. Like, this is like Billy Idol. I don't know who that's supposed to be. This is, I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you think you know who it is. This is what's his face, that guy who is the comedian. Oh, I know his name, but I'm screwing that up too. I don't know. Joel Olstein. I don't. I started naming them because I thought I could name a bunch of them. There's Michael Jackson, who famously bought the Elephant Man's skeleton. There's Madonna. Menudo. Cute. New Kids on the Block. Keith Richards. How long have people been making jokes about Keith Richards never dying? It's like the joke about Keith Richards never dying. It will never die. Janet Jackson. I don't know who this is. The Velvet Frog. Oh, the Monkees. Prince, obviously. A vote for me is a vote for you too. Oh, Bono. Boop. Because Sonny Bono and Bono. It doesn't really make sense. Anyway, Eavesdropper Shockers. Who did this artwork? Bob Jones. Bob Jones did this artwork. Bob Jones that's a name that I know I've heard before, but embarrassingly, I don't know that I know a lot about Bob Jones. Holy smoke. This is like, there's still so much left, guys. This is like, I don't know. This is a lot. Artist. Oh, he was a cover artist. Did a lot of cover art. He did the, 182, 184, 192. Oh yeah, he's done a ton of work for Mad Magazine. Okay. At a doctor's office. Yes, bubonic plague. Right where that man is sitting now. See that poor man? My cousin looked just like that the week before he died. Sure, I saw the doctor on that show, but what does Mike Wallace know about unnecessary amputations? Oh, this feels like, you know what it feels like? I mean, it's not a conversation. It's just non sequiturs almost. I feel like what would make a lot more sense is if it were other people. Like you're in a restaurant and it's like one table says this, one table says that, one table says that. Or like these two guys each say something. It just reads kind of funny like that. Well, as long as the co-pilot's sober. Tell the stewardess. What the hell is she supposed to do? Climb out and fix it herself? That nice man named Mustafa gave me $1,000 to carry his package to Rome. It must be some kind of clock. All right, that is pretty brutal. Here is John Caldwell doing some beautiful artistry and writing. Rip, scritch, tear, rip, chirp. I'll take them all. Stella's House of Velcro. It's kind of just like a very silly thing. The art of breaking bad news gently. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm fine. The reason I left home to go camping out in the desert with some guys I met. They are neat guys. They cook meals for me outdoors. Also, they say you should put $50,000 in the phone booth by the bus station at once. If you don't, they say they will stop cooking meals for me outdoors and will leave me here to rot. Love, Stu. Oh, geez. Poor Stu. Here we have, oh my gosh, there's not enough time. There's not enough time to do all of this. Because it's like a lot of these are gems. They're artists I love looking at. The real reasons why you can't bring your friends home. Your mother's a neatness freak. All right. This better get better than that. Your cat has the mange. Your grandmother cooks cabbage 3 times a week. Your sister plays the accordion. You have nosy neighbors. Whatever happened to Debbie? Yeah, we liked her better than most of the other bimbos you brought home. Your grandfather reads aloud from the Farmer's Almanac. All right, I can move on from this. The mange one really got me. Dorky house call, MD. Now, this is funny. Like, to me, it's like, this is Angelo Torres. Does anybody else really like that? That's so cool. I wonder, was that, like, look at that. I don't know. I like that angle. Anyway, dorky house call. What is that? Doogie Howser. This should have gotten the first billing. Like, this is such a better show than Empty Nest. Like, my goodness. Why would you bother with the other one? The titillating tennis tumult. Oh my God. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Here we have some George Woodbridge. Dude, this is like, we got to go long. I'm not gonna cut this short. It's just there's too much good stuff. Political half-truths. Half-truth is the depletion of the ozone layer is not an immediate threat. The whole truth is because the greenhouse effect will kill us first. The half-truth is homeless prefer to live on the street. The whole truth is, which makes perfect sense if you've ever seen a public shelter. The half-truth is the plan to build a Star Wars defense system isn't a fantasy. The whole truth is, but the hope that it will actually work is. The half-truth is the government is ignoring our hostages. The whole truth is the same way the hostages ignored the government. Dang. That is a little hard to say when somebody's been taken hostage. Like, why were you there? Why were you backpacking in Iran? Get a life. Artist Jack Davis called it. If you are on a first-name basis with all of the security guards at your local shopping mall, get a life. If you eagerly anticipate the day your jury duty notice arrives in the mail, get a life. If you mail back your Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes entry form registered, return receipt requested, get a life. If your monthly phone bill includes over $75 worth of calls to Entertainment Tonight's 900-pound option polls, get a life. Oh, yeah, you remember when you used to call into places? MAD's updated book titles. I'm not going to read these because it's going to only reveal my ignorance. Here's a MAD fold-in, which has not been folded in, and thus will not be folded in. An ad they'll never show. Since you're such a smooth character, I'll give it to you straight. You got cancer of the hump. But look at this. I was looking at this earlier. You see right there? Damn, he's got a big booty. I know that's probably supposed to be his hump, but it just looks like he's got a thick booty. This is Pound. James Pound, is that the name of him? Let me look it up. I'm on the wrong thing. John Pound, that's who it is. An amazing talent. He did the Garbage Pail Kids. I love this, though. But I loved Camel cigarettes. I was super into those when I was a smoker. Anyway, hey, with that, what an issue. What a terrible way to start the issue with a cover like this. But holy smokes, is that not a fantastic one? If you enjoyed this, please leave a comment down below. Give a thumb up to the video. Even if you didn't like my video, if you liked this issue, give me a thumb up. And please consider subscribing. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. Toodaloo.